Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I will be making a delicious red velvet cake, but with no artificial food coloring. I will use beetroots to make it red. For the cake base I will use 300 grams of flour, 1 teaspoon of cocoa, 7 grams of baking powder, 200 grams of butter, 200 grams of buttermilk, 350 grams of sugar, 1 lemon, 3 eggs, 500 grams of beetroots, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence. For the cream I will use 500 milliliters of unsweetened liquid cream, 600 grams of cheese cream, 250 grams of vanilla sugar powder, and some fruits for decoration. I will start by cleaning the beetroots with the hard part of a sponge. Once the beetroots are clean, I will put them in a pot and boil them for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. After that, I will put the beetroots in cold water and I will add some ice to speed up the process of cooling them down. As soon as the beets have cooled down, I begin to peel them. They are extremely colorful, so I will use some gloves to protect my hands from becoming red. After that, I will just cut them into cubes. Later, I will put them in a blender and is easier if they are cut into small pieces. In a bowl, I will add the butter and the sugar and start mix them together. I like to use powdered sugar as it is easier to mix, but you can use normal sugar as well. It is really important that all the ingredients are at room temperature. I'll add a bit of vanilla essence and start mixing the entire composition with a mixer. I'll start at a lower speed and increase it step by step. When you feel like it's too hard for you to mix, then it is time to add the eggs. I will add them one by one, not all of them together. You will notice that after you add the first egg, the composition is more moist and it is easier to mix. Repeat the process with the other 2 eggs, and in the end your composition should look like this. Increased in size, and creamy. In the blender I will add the beet, the buttermilk and squeeze the lemon, then mix them until the entire composition is well mixed. To make sure that there are no larger pieces of beet left, I pass the whole composition through a strainer. In a bowl, I will add the flour, then add the baking powder, the cocoa and a bit of salt and mix them well together. Now, we have all we need for the cake base. All is left to do now is to mix it all together. I will add the red cream over the buttercream. This way, the cake will become red, but also healthy to eat since we didn't use any artificial food coloring. As we add the beet, we notice that the whole composition increasingly becomes intense red. I will gradually add the flour and mix it well. If I add all the flour at once, lumps will form and I don't want that to happen. I want my final composition to be creamy and smooth. In the end, the composition should have this consistency. I want my cake to have 3 layers, so I will divide the composition into 2 parts. The first part will have 1/3 of the composition and the second will have 2/3 of the composition. This way I will just have to make 1 cut and have 3 layers of cake base. I am using a 22 centimeters wide pan and put it into the preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes. To make sure that the cake is done, I will use a toothpick. If nothing remains stuck on it, it means it is done. While I do the unboxing of the cake, I would like to ask you to subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing and it will help the channel a lot. Thank you and I appreciate it. I've let it rest for about an hour and now I will cut the bigger part into 2 equal parts. I'll need crumbs later, for the decoration, so I'll use a bread knife to scrape them off. While the cake cools completely, I will start making the cream. It is really easy to make. First, I will add the cheese cream. Remember, it is important that all the ingredients, except for the unsweetened liquid cream, to be at room temperature. Now I will add the vanilla sugar powder and start mix them together. I will now add the liquid cream. This is the only ingredient that needs to be held in the fridge for at least 24 hours before using. With the help of a whisk, I will mix the entire composition. This cream doesn't have to be mixed that much, just until the cream isn't liquid anymore. After about 3 minutes of mixing, my cream is done and is ready to be used for decorating. Now I can start decorating. On the interior, I'll put the cream between each layer of cake. Once this is done, I will start decorating on the exterior. For exterior decoration, I will level the cream and use the crumbs to decorate the edge and the side of the cake. On top, I will add cranberries, raspberry, pomegranate and, to add a little bit of color, I will put mint leaves. Everybody I've served this cake to, loved it, and even asked for the recipe. Let me know in the comment section down below if you tried this recipe, and how you liked it. I'd be happy to hear your opinion. Because of their color, the crumbs look so great on the cake. Thank you for watching.